Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Wesley, what's up, man? Oh, I figured I might as well go live considering Joe Biden did his little deal today. Oh, it's going on Southeastern. Do 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 do. Just waiting on a signal. Nice. The I'm not trying to say here. Life of a conductor. Where the heck am I at? Yeah, Sean, you're right. At least 30. 30, 60. Let's see what happens. We kind of called that one last night, though. That's probably going to happen today. Waiting on that. Hey, let's get on Warzone. No, I'm not getting on Warzone. No way, Colby. I forgot how he. Oh, sadly to my Biden. Yeah, I'll probably make a video tonight. Yeah, tell me about it, cause my feet are still hurting. Still hurting from work. How the heck did I do my train again? I forgot. Let me pull up Google. Yeah, I'll probably make a video on it though because a lot of people has asked me. I've seen a bunch of hey Larry. A lot of people's asked me what's next. Did you say they bumped trainee pay? Really? What is trainee pay? I'm curious. Get on Sea of Thieves. I don't even have it downloaded. Really? So I wonder what the pay is now. What one was it? 200, I guess. Trying to attract new talent by paying $200 a day. Hmm. $200 a day. That's interesting. And still there's no pay raise for certified conductors, so their basic days are still between that 230 to 260 range. 25 an hour for OJT. Wow. Yeah, I hope it does, Colby. I started to stay till 3 in the morning. God dang it, I forgot how you. So is BNSF I don't know. BNSF still pays a lot of money. I think it'd be a toss up between BN and UP. Maybe CN. I know CP and them they pay pretty well too. Well, that ain't it. God dang it. What's going on, Jeff? Who's Cam? Is that the new guy? You been training? Oh. Oh, I see what you're saying. You talking about your buddy that works for CSX. What's going on, Jeff? I forgot how to play this game. Oh, your brother, okay. Hopefully so. Hopefully he's right. Because if that's the case, that means everybody in the real industry are probably getting a raise. That ain't what I'm looking for. That ain't what I'm looking for. God dang it. Build and train. I gotta watch a YouTube video. I'm gonna just take this one. I forgot how to build it, so we're just gonna take this one. Get out of my train. Some of the longshoremen on strike. Yeah, it's a good question. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I'm not sure how that would work there, Maker Man. I would think. See, my whole theory behind this is that the unions were going to try and get everything done before before that happened in November. So I'm sure it would take a while, but that's a good question. I need to ask somebody that and see. Next stream, Colby, I have no idea. I'm not sure, to be quite frank. Oh, wrong single. Pishula Express. Yeah, Mega Man, that's above my head there, but I do know the people I can ask. Why is there a train here? Really? What's going on, Red Lines? What's going on, NS? What is that diverging approach for? Oh, it's because there's a freaking train there. Nice. You can actually see him. No, there we go. What happens if you crash a train? It just goes black. I wasn't paying attention to one day. I was talking to a chat and I was running a 70 and a 30 and went around a corner and it just leaned over, fell on its side. What's my HPT? I wonder. Probably like 1 something. 2.1. That ain't bad. My train is starting to move. Hello? We're moving a little bit. What's going on, Kelly? No, Jeff, I don't. I know of the, well, I'll tell you what I do know, and it's not much. But what is the horn called? Like the L151 or something like that. I think it's this horn that's, that horn, whatever it's called. It starts with the L, I'm pretty sure. Net Jetman, you're going to training on August the 1st for NS? Any boot requirements during training? Yeah, I have a couple of videos on my channel now. I just posted one not so long ago. There is requirements on boots. I recommend some boots. There's a guy named War Games. He's in the Discord. He's on the channel too. He's a, I believe he's a conductor. Yeah, he's a conductor or maybe an engineer. But he's also recommended some too. I got him linked in the description. Yeah, Kelly. I think everybody was excited to actually get to exercise their right strikes, but it seems like, you know, it could still happen. It could. I would say it's pretty slim, but it could definitely still happen. Just got hired as freight conductor with CSX. I start August 1st. Any tips? Just be a sponge. You can read a lot of information thrown at you at once. Study your signals, and you'll be good to go. Just don't let nobody rush you once you get all, you know, marked up and on job training. Just really, that's a big one. Don't let nobody rush you. Study your signals. And if you got questions, ask. If you don't want to ask your conductor, you can always ask on here. Yeah, that's right, Jeff. They are. They're all loud to me. Very true. If you've never worked in the railroad industry before, how would I start to get my foot in the door? Just apply, man. They hire people all the time. I think they would rather prefer you to have 0 experience versus having experience. The reason being is that way they can train you how they see fit, and you haven't developed any bad habits or anything like that. I would definitely start reapplying now. They're so desperate for help. Do you have to know somebody? No, you don't, man. Not nowadays. It definitely helped. I'd probably say it probably helped 3 or 4 years ago, but I don't think right now they'll take anybody. Yeah, UP. I saw where UP's accepting felons. Took you a year to get in. So I know I see a lot of new names, and I'll tell you the story. I'll tell you all my story with getting hired on by NS. I applied for 6 years with NS. I applied for 6 years. I interviewed 6 times. Of course, the other 5 times they never hired me. On the 6th time, they finally hired me. You know, and it ain't like I had anything on my record. I've never been arrested. I've never had anything besides speeding tickets. None of that. And they just would not hire me for whatever reason. I think it was because of my credit, because I had none. My parents always taught me to pay with cash, and that kind of, you know, it kind of caused some problems, I believe, because they run your credit and see what kind of debt you're in, and I had no debt. I had no credit score. So I think they may have looked at that as a gamble or something like that, so. Yeah, I bet you was, Texas. I think a lot of people were. I would like to see what the numbers were for the UTU. I bet it was 95+% also. Oh yeah, they'll put your credit. Oh yeah, risk. Yeah, when I was applying, they didn't really need anybody, and now they're so desperate they'll hire just about anybody. But Sam, this is Run8. Do you miss railroading? Oh yeah, I absolutely miss it. It was by far the coolest job I ever had. I didn't mind going to work. I didn't dread going to work. The only thing I hated about the job was, I've actually made a video on it. The fact that these train masters want to play with people's families. You know, they want to sit out there and try and catch you to do something wrong. Yeah, it's been a while since I played Run8. Yeah, Kelly, that was it, and that was the biggest one. That was my biggest thing I loved about working was the people I worked with. Yep, I loved the work. I loved the people I worked with. I didn't mind the schedule. I mean, it sucks and all, but it could definitely be a lot better. But I mean, the schedule, to be honest with you now, the schedule is the reason I won't go back. You're not going to treat me, you know, or just use me like that and not pay me for it. You're going to pay me a lot of money for me to go back to doing that. And Yeah, they're got to come off some money for sure, really quickly. This dude needs to get out of my way. Whoop, that's a no-no. I have an idea. I'm gonna horn them. Need 2 ways. You play SimWorld too? Yeah, I have SimWorld on my computer. Yeah, Kelly, that was my whole reason really for going. I know that sounded crazy, but I was worried about retirement at, 27 years old. I just refused to live like some of my family did because they didn't have retirement. So I guess at a young age, I was like, I'm going to focus on retirement. But New Core's retirement, their 401k plan is really good compared. I mean, it's pretty similar to the retirement. As much money as they put in every year, it's kind of nuts. You have to get it. It's a PC game, Chris. You have to go to Google and just type in Run8 Studios. Yep. Pretty much on call 24/7. Unless you're on extra board for NS, you get 2 days off a week. You work 6, or on call 6, off 48. Yeah, Larry DeFazio he's supposed to retire this year, I'm pretty sure. Is it this year or next year? I'm really hoping, I talked about this earlier, I don't know if DeFazio is allowed, but it would be really nice to see DeFazio on the presidential emergency board. What's going on, Eric? Yeah, $50 for a base game. I don't know the speed. I think it's 43 here, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 40. They consider you retired. Yeah, that's nice. Start with CSX on Monday. Nice. I think there's some other people that start with them also. When I first started streaming. That's right. Look, listen, learn. Yeah, Brian. I don't know if you're with NS or CSX. NS is starting new schools or new classes every week. New week until the end of the year, they say. They're trying to hire them by the thousands. Only probably, I'll probably say maybe 10% actually stays. CSX, yeah, I think CSX is the same. Their class is 1 week longer, it's 4 weeks, but I think there's probably like every 2 weeks they're starting a new class. All the advice you can get. There's several guys in here that just got on with CSX. They definitely know the CS. I know more about NS than I do anything else, just because that's just what I like to speak on because I've actually been through it. I don't like being a guy trying to, this thing called imposter syndrome. It's real. It's a real thing. When I created this channel, I don't like being the guy saying I know what CSX school's like when I really don't. I've never been there. CSX, all of them are pretty bad at this point. No, Rez, I think they run them all the time right now. Probably every 2 weeks. I bet they start a class. I'm pretty sure CSX has days of night shift also. I know NS does. They have 2 shifts, day and evening shift, from 4 to 1, and from 7 to whatever it is, 7 to 3, I guess. They have the track that goes by Martinsville Speedway on the sim. They may have. I'm not sure. New England Paint Productions. Thank you, man. Where's it at? So I can look on the map and see if I have the expansion. Let's see. I'll check on Katie. She is gone. She's at a concert. No, Kelly, they don't have PTC on this game yet. PTC or your trip optimizer, they don't have any of that stuff yet. Leader. You can run through, and like if you have DPUs, you can fence off DPUs in this game, which is pretty cool. But they've been talking about implementing PTC and stuff like that. I really hope they don't, just because it's bad enough in real life. Yeah, Eric, just make sure she understands what she's in for. You'll be gone lots. But, well, me and Katie did it. I think Katie kind of enjoyed it. She ain't gonna say that. Actually, she probably would say that. She's told me several times to go back to the railroad, but she's pissed off. You need to go back to the railroad. It was better when you were gone all the time. Put some respect on my sodomizer's name. Yeah, I want to make a video really bad. I've been talking about doing this, and you know, I can ask Katie, you know, what it was like for her, and just make a video explaining to the spouses or partners what to expect. Yeah, Kelly, I would. I'd have to restart because I officially quit. My end date was December 21st, 2020. That was officially. That's when I emailed the train master when he wanted to get smart, and I told him I wouldn't come back. How does Run8 work? It's just a game, man. Just a game. Very, very difficult to run, though. I'm not gonna lie. I go 40 in 2.5 miles. Keep on creeping like I am. Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. It's been a while, maybe, since I've actually played this, but yeah. I was looking for my HPT 2.1, so that's kind of good. I'll just keep it on this. I'll just look at my grade, and then my speed, miles per hour, or whatever's coming up. Approach diverging. Me. What is that for CSX? Isn't that approach limited? What that means? If I remember correctly. Approach medium. Where's your conductor? He's over there. He ain't doing nothing. If I was on a multiplayer server, we could have a conductor. Thanks your wife like she being on there? Yeah, I can relate. Advanced approach. Oh, is that CSX signals? CNS had been approach diverging. Type of train? I think there's just some kind of like mixed freight. I'm really not honestly sure. I don't, yeah. Some type of mixed freight. I haven't even looked at the weight of it or anything. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's very true. Just throw anything on it and make it 15,000 feet long and get it out of here. Windows open. Yeah. Normally when I build a train on this game, I put ST70s on it just because I like the way they sound, and they've nailed it really closely in this game. Hey Mark, thank you, man. I don't hit the horn in this game, it's too loud. Too loud. That's right, quiet zone. Every crossing in this game for me is a quiet zone. 5-point deduction. So I've always heard this. I've never actually... Engineers told me this. But if PTC, at least for NS, if an engineer, let's say, fell asleep and didn't hit the horn in time to get their 15 seconds, you know, before they go across the crossing, PTC would hit it for them. And every time it happened, it would send an email to a road foreman. Is that right? Have y'all ever heard of that? Really? That seems... I mean, that's pretty wild. That's like Big Brother type stuff. But I mean, I get it. I understand the horn's important, but I thought that's what PTC was for. You think a lot of folks will walk out? Nah, I don't think so. I think a lot more people are going to wait it out now that it's made it to Biden. No roll by a bad conductor. Yeah, and if the camera, that's true. Yeah, that's right, Brian, yeah. 60, well, it's 30 days, and then there's a cooling off period for 30 days. So basically 60 days, if I remember that correctly. Hang on, I'll read it to you exactly how it's actually wrote. I bet these guys are mad. This train's been here a minute. Alright, so it says, the PEB has 30 days from July the 18th to render its findings. If one or both parties decline a 30-day cooling down period, no, let me say that again. The PEB has 30 days from July the 18th to render its findings. If one or both parties decline, a 30-day cooling off period will begin at the expiration date of... I'm trying to read this correct. I had a local chairman send me this. Oh, I'm reading this wrong. Okay, yeah, so the PEB has 30 days from July the 18th to render its findings. If one or both parties decline, a 30-day cool-down period begins. At the expiration of that, we can seek self-help. So basically another 60 days before we can seek help, you know, to strike again. Dang, why did that take me so long to read that? Late. It's been a long day. That's my excuse. My feet are still hurting. How long does a signal stay green until a train passes? So, really, whenever, let's say if you're approaching a clear block, as soon as you break that, once you enter that block, that signal will go red. Like if you were standing at the signal and a train just went by, you would see clear until it broke that block, and then once it goes into that block, the signal would go red. You think it'll go good? I think it's got. I mean, it's got to be better than what there is now, right? Like there's no way it could get worse. I don't really want to say it that way, but I'm sure it could get worse. But hopefully, given the control, I mean, I hate getting political, but you know the Democrats and Biden and all that stuff. You got DeFazio, so hopefully things will get better. And not to mention the astonishing amount of evidence that and you got Oberman, you got Premise, you got all these hearings that's happened here recently. There's too much evidence for them not to make these companies come off some money. Yeah, I believe that, Sean. I really do. Yep. You know, these companies aren't... They're just going to delay it as long as possible because, you know, the companies are just going to save money. That's what Wall Street wants. You know, this contract will be good, and then when the next contract comes up, they're not going to negotiate. They're just going to repeat this same cycle over and over and over. Yeah, cause I think the class. So you noticed. I was thinking about this the other day, and I wanted to hear y'all's opinion. You remember when the big news stories were talking about the ships parked off the West Coast and on the ports, and how, you know, these ships were not being offloaded quick enough, and they didn't have enough trucks to offload these ships. I was telling my parents then, I was like, it's not the trucks, it's the trains. There's not enough trains. There's not enough people. I said they laid off everybody. And my mom and my family didn't really believe me, just because they don't really pay attention to the news, but they just didn't understand. And now it's really starting to come out that no, it wasn't trucks. I mean, if you go on the highway, there's thousands and thousands of trucks. And now you have all these ships sitting out there because you can't get trains out. They don't have any crews. That's nuts. And that's getting out, and I think class ones are in panic mode, and they're trying to do everything they can. So here comes out the propaganda, like from Cindy Sanborn, sending it all to the customers from the AAR, telling them that they're trying to do their best to negotiate contracts when they're not. So yeah, you've got a lot of that going on, which is really wild to see. You know, you really see that in politics. I never thought I'd see it in the company world. Yeah, Brian, that's right. Yep, 100% pay rate went in effect June the 23rd. How many hours do you get to spend at home each week? Ooh, that's a tough one. Yeah, Kelly's got it pretty close. 30 to 40 hours, total hours at home. Yeah, I would say that's probably pretty good, because typically you're not going to be home maybe 10 to 14 hours, and then you're gone again. Definitely right now. When you're out of town or stuck in a dorm, you're probably sitting in a dorm for 12 to 24 hours. If you have a family, do you ever see them? You do. I mean, you don't see them nowhere near as much as working like Monday through Friday. You know, and I used to sharpshoot to get time off. I really needed to, but it's definitely, I mean, you don't see them that as often as you think. You are definitely working a lot. You know, NS has 48 hours off in their export. That was a pretty big one, you know. At least it gives you 2 days off with your family to do whatever you want to. But other class ones, I don't think they have that. Oh, there we go. Did you get a little time off when your son no more? So the crazy thing about how all this happened is I was furloughed when my son was born, I was drawing guarantee. I was working like, man, I was working like 2 to 3 trips every 2 weeks. And all I did was fish. And I used to tell my buddies that Norfolk Southern was my biggest sponsor because they were paying me to go fish. But yeah, I was at home a lot. Yeah, Dave, that's true. I believe it. Yeah, BNSF's doing everything they can. And the reason being is there's so many people leaving because of their attendance policy. That high vis attendance policy is nuts. And they're just gambling away. They're gambling away safety to make sure they got bodies to move trains. Oh, really? That's interesting, Kelly. Alert of life? Yeah, it's just as annoying in this game as it is in real life. Well, I say you gotta think I haven't done it nowhere near as long as you guys have. Should get on a stack train so we can run 70 and not 55. Yeah, I can only imagine. I remember what used to bother me was the freaking DPU alerter, the beep beep beep, losing communication, because it happened like every 30 seconds, it seemed like, with us on the Memphis West, Memphis East. And then, of course, the freaking tone from dispatcher, because ours was on dark territory, so we always had to deal with them. Nice, David. That's interesting. I don't know anything about an Amtrak conductor. I'm going to react to that video probably tonight, maybe tomorrow. But there's a video on YouTube that it's like a day in the life of an Amtrak conductor. I'm really curious because all I know is, and I'm probably extremely wrong, but I feel like in my mind that Amtrak conductor is one, making sure the customers or passengers get on and off safely before y'all ever get moving, and that's your job, is to make sure they're on there safely, and then to help with reverse movements if you need to. Maybe, I'm sure y'all talk with dispatchers also. Reduce it? Oh, really? No, nobody ever reduced to 30. Most of the time ours would, because it was so hilly and so many trees and foliage around, we would lose communication, and the engineer, and I don't know if this actually helps, but our engineers on the Memphis West, Memphis East, they would start bailing off the brakes, like on the independent. For some reason, they would say that would help somehow connect it back. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but they said that it would go back to idle after 30 seconds. But the only bad thing is, most of the time where it fell out is whenever, like, they'd be climbing a hill in like number 8, and as soon as they top the hill, it would be beep beep beep, and then they're notching off on the head end and the rear still pushing, and it was always you'd always get whacked pretty hard if you wasn't careful. So bailing off the independent actually helps reconnect DPUs. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I just know they always did it. I just remember my engineers is whenever it disconnect, just hitting that freaking independent, billing it off, over and over and over, trying to get it to reconnect because they needed it so bad. Why does the end of the train device beep? It lets you know that your train's moving. So if you look right here, you can see where it says EOTs moves. It's just letting you know that the rear of your train's moving. So this helps, and Sean and Kelly can probably definitely preach on this more than I can. But I just know as an engineer, you know, they'll start off slow, right? And they'll start off slow and they'll get the slack pulled out, because the last thing you really want to do is go to like notch 3 or 4 and then boom, rip out a coupler or a drawbar or break a knuckle. So you want to make sure your train's stretched all the way out before you start notching up and actually gathering speed. Oh man, that'd be interesting. Hit the brakes. Yeah, I was very fortunate to have some engineers. They taught me a lot, and some of it was me being a sponge and just paying attention to what they were doing. Like, using a counter. I forgot how I use my counter on here. There it is. It's like using a counter on a hill. Whenever y'all top the hill, you'll hit your counter. And if you got a 10,000 foot train, when you hit the apex of the hill, by the time you're at 5,000 feet, you want to be in neutral or in idle. And then you're starting to set up your dynamics, and you start catching your train when the back half of your train's coming over the hill. And then when you get to the bottom of the hill, you'll hit your counter again, and then as soon as your nose goes up, dump the dynamics, and then go back to 1, 2, 3, and then get it stretched out before the rear sits down in the hole. That's all interesting to me, how you have to play with your slack to keep that thing up together. I find that really, really interesting. Yeah, that's right, David. I know the Amtrak guys that we dealt with, they would go from Birmingham, they'd stop in Tuscaloosa, then they'd go to Meridian, drop off, pick up people in Meridian. They'd either drop them off in Tuscaloosa or they come back to Birmingham. They were home every day. Remember the flashing red light with the air gauge? I've never seen one of those before. We have our air gauges, but it ain't like we ever use them, honestly. Use a flag or a caboose. Yeah, I've used a flag several times, but that was on my local days. Remember, I had a train master that used to be real big about having a flashing red light on the rear of our train on our local. And didn't have any.
66.0. No defects. Repeat, no defects. Total axle 528. Train speed 49 mph. Ambient temperature 100 degrees. Out.
Yeah, she came in one day and she said, do not leave this yard unless you have a flashing red light on the rear of your train. I said, well, I guess you better go buy something because we don't have any. All we have is flags around here because we can't keep EODs. And she went to Lowe's and bought some little bitty, like little flashing red lights you put in your mailbox. It was a magnet, and we put them on the rear of the train. They lasted for about a week and they were done for. Used to be allowed on trains less than 4 tons. Oh, okay. Wow. It's crazy how so much things have changed. Oh, 4,000 tons. Jeff, it depends, man. If you were on a train like this one right here where you're running 50, it would go by, it felt like forever. And if you're working night shift, oh yeah, good old, yeah, that's right, John. Good old Bev. That's right. That's right, John. Beverly. Uh, um, man, it going to Memphis was good, but going to Chattanooga, holy crap, man, it took, oh my god, it took forever. Oh, our road, we're going, no, they're not right now. We gotta wait. You gotta wait 60 more days from July the 18th right now. It can still happen, but I doubt it. We're not gonna let it happen. It's really good though that I believe that so many people voted yes, just because, I don't know, it just sends a message to the companies and to the government. Daryl, you're funny. What does this mean for you? So here's the deal. I gotta make a video for new conductors so look, I've reached out to some local chairmen and they've reached out to their general chairmen. And as new conductors, if you're in school and you go to on-the-job training, and let's say a strike was to happen, what would you do? Local chairmen are going to reach out to you guys, or you need to reach out to your local chairman, and they'll give you directions on what to do. The last thing you want to do is cross that picket fence, even though you're not a protected employee. You know, the company could fire you outright, and there's nothing you could do about it, but at the same time, you really don't want to be the guy that goes across that line. So, but right now, don't worry about it. Just go to school. Worry about school. Don't worry about the strike. None of that right there is going to happen anytime soon. So, hopefully things will be better by the time you get marked up. Yeah, that's right, David. Anytime in Birmingham going to Meridian, if we had to hold the main line, the Amtrak had to go in the hole, go around us, you could tell they were really irritated. John, if you're still in here, is Beverly still in Decatur? How is she even still around? I figured she'd been fired a long time ago, honestly. Wrong one. There we go. The hardest thing about being a conductor, Jacob, I would probably say, for me, it was probably just being gone, honestly. Oh, she's in Sheffield now. Nice. Can't believe she's still there. I'm sure Al Van Buren's probably still there. Goofball. I know Utley's still there. I still talk to Utley every now and then. I know Jim's still in Decatur, I believe. Last time I talked to Jim, he was. Yeah, the hardest part for me, though, is probably just being gone, because I had a newborn daughter at the time. No, does Amtrak usually get priority? Oh yeah, especially in Birmingham. Yeah, Amtrak is always a priority. They always say, dispatcher come in and call you. The Amtrak 19's leaving wherever. Yeah, Brian from Alabama. I live in Birmingham. Or yeah, I live in northeast Birmingham now. Hardest thing is staying awake and showing up. Yeah, that's yeah, staying awake part's rough, especially super long trips. You wired up best for Amazon? Nice. Yeah, I know exactly where that's at. Bob Sykes Barbecue. Yeah, I've been there before, Brian. When I used to work in Tuscaloosa on locals and stuff, we used to go there. Well, I ain't gonna say we used to go over there. We used to stop by there most of the time. Well, it really depended on the local you were working. If you was working on an afternoon shift, you could swing by. If a strike happened and you were in school, just keep on going to school. Yeah, nothing will change because the company don't care. Just, keep on doing your thing, and it's, whenever you're, if you was to happen to leave school to go on the job training, then it'd be a little different. You'd be making some phone calls, but I think you're good. I don't think that's gonna happen. Oh, that's true, Sean. Yeah, I forgot. That's right. If it is actually a conductor or something, yeah, you might miss the time. You might not even show up. DPU error. I didn't even know I had a DPU. Oh well. It'll connect back. See if it works in the game. Nothing's happening. Yeah, Brian says Bessemer's rough, man. That's a bad part of town. And the crazy thing is, look, what is this DPU error? They're really gonna make me stop? We toned up Mock. I don't even know the friggin' tone. Yeah, Bessemer's rough. And we got World Games going on right now in Birmingham, and people said that they've been seeing them wander around over there in the Bessemer area. Oh yeah, Jeff, you can go to Mercy. You can get knuckles, you can rip a coupler apart, you can do all kinds of stuff in this game. Nice sharp bait. Thank you, ma'am. It's not telling me the error. I thought these were clickable. There's a way. How do you go through your DPU settings? I forgot. It's saying it's still in throttle. No? Yeah. Oh, it's my middle one. That's not doing anything. Well, we'll go see. I don't know what's going on. Jimmy Nix? Yeah, full moon, Jimmy Nix. Oh, that's good. Yeah, we'll go back here and see what's wrong with it. Sometimes you got stuff like yeah, you can fence it off. Oh, it's done for now. It's in red. You can fence it off. I didn't realize they had 3 DPUs, one in the middle, one in the rear. We have tracks through Watts. Oh, Sean, so this game is like identical to if you're out this way towards the Mojave sub and all that. It's supposed to be like the actual grade, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, we'll see. I'm not walking back there, I can tell you that. Just sit right here. This is the one. What's your problem? I didn't say there's a problem with that one. That's it. Running. That's good. Confused. Hey, I saw that, David. That was nuts. Oh, is it empty? I didn't even look at it. This one's good. Hey, I didn't forget. I just stole it from that guy. That was good. Oh, they're all refilled. I forgot how you actually look and see. I wish Luke was on, or Luke or Dalton was on here. I thought it actually had been empty. There's a way you can actually see that, but I don't know. This is where my experience is, I mean, we can fence it off, but I don't think it's gonna be good. I don't think this train's gonna pull it. Ain't no way. Actually, I better not do that, 'cause this... I'm pretty sure we stopped on a grade too, which is not good. Might get a coupler on this one, or get a knuckle. We'll watch our pounds, see what happens. Yeah, the one on the rear stuff, these ones are good. You can see, so I got A, B, and C. C's the one on the rear, B's the one in the middle. There's one of them in the middle that's not happy, but they're all running. I'm not real sure. It's just not communicating for some reason. It'll be alright. It's better run. Ooh, we might get a knuckle if I'm not careful. Pretty close. Okay, we're good. Yeah, this one's underpowered. Well, I'll say it's underpowered. Yeah, I think you got 5 engines, and our train weighs... What does our train weigh? It weighs 13,000 tons, and... Let's see, yeah, 13,000 tons and 528 axles, or 7,600 feet long, 7,700 feet long. It's pretty heavy. They have the power kind of mismanaged on this game. It's a little off. Tell us what we're looking at. I can try to explain it to you, Brian. So, what little bit I know. I was never an engineer. Disclaimer here. I was never an engineer. But so what I'm looking at, what I look at when I'm running this, and Sean and Kelly could definitely talk a lot about this more than I can. Throttle, of course, N3. That's notch 3. So that is over here. You can see right here is your throttle. This here is your reverser. This is your throttle. We're in notch 3. We're in forward reverser. That's right here. The reverser's in forward. The main thing I'm looking at is well, I don't have to look at amps, but I know you're supposed to look at amps when you're going through turnouts. This is your accelerometer. Tells you how much speed you will gain every minute. So we're going to look at 2 miles per hour per minute. And that's really the only things that I look at. This was the big one that I look at, is the miles per hour per minute. And this is on the left is your air. That's your flow. That's your main reservoir, your flow. And why is my flow? Well, I mean it's not high, but why is it like that for? But I mainly study this. If I'm sitting around the speed limit and I see my miles per hour jump up, you know, watch your grade and stuff like that. But I wish there was a PTC screen. I could show you more about PTC, and pretty interesting to look at. A lot to learn too. If a strike was to happen, yeah, maybe an hour. Man, you can see where the tension is. You can see where my DPU's in the middle are not doing anything. The rear's pushing, and this is stretching. I think we're good to move on up to number 8 here. What's the I don't even know how to do that on here anyways. What's the time limit between notches? Isn't it is it 3 seconds or 4 seconds per notch? Can't remember. No, we ain't stalling. We rolling now. Yeah, that's true, Sean. That's 10 seconds per notch. Okay. That makes sense. I'll never forget when I was with the LET, and this is how I learned to never dump dynamics going downhill. I was with the LET, and I was in Birmingham, and we had just hit. We were in dynamics, and he kind of got a little fast, but thanks to his non-PTC, and we were going downhill, and we were in dynamics, and he got slowed down a little bit too much. He didn't realize, I guess, because he was. I didn't realize it either, but we were actually starting to go down a slight grade, and he was in like, I don't know, maybe notch number 1 in dynamics, and he just dumped it. And when it did, that damn engine rolled out. Holy crap! I mean, it threw all the stuff off my desk. And my the engineers told the LAT, so that's why you never dump your dynamics going downhill. And that's the day I learned. Ah, okay. Yeah, 4 seconds from power dynamics. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Oh, I'm not sure, Larry. I'm not sure. I could look up the code. Well, I say it may be different. It may be different based on in a different company here. I think NS's was 4 seconds though. That seems a bit excessive, Kelly. That's nuts. Oh wow, 2 point. Yeah, there's like a. I think there's like a 2 something grade actually going to Bakersfield somewhere through here. Yep, that's pretty common Southeastern. It definitely. See, when I first hired in, that used to not be a thing. Like, they would try and they really wanted you to run track speed. You know, if you was on stack train, they would put like 2 or 3 locomotives on the head end. And, yeah, they wanted you to stay at 60 for the most part. And then 2019 rolled around and, yeah, that got shut down pretty quick. Give you the bare minimum. Just enough to actually make it. Yeah, we had several Z trains. Our main hot shots in Birmingham were 220, 219, and then Sheffield's like 201, 202, 265, 264. You had like 23 in, 22 in. Those were all fairly hot. 23 in, 22 in wasn't too hot, but 201, 202 was. Why are we slowing down? We're number 8. Is this engine off or something? What in the world is going on? How long does the alerter give you? I think it's in it. Is it 30 seconds? Yeah. Okay. And it gets louder and louder every time. Cajon Pass. Yeah, that's on here too, Sean. If you actually go back. Where is Cajon? Bakersfield. There it is. Baker, you got the Cajon. I don't have that map though. This is it right here. And from my understanding, this is all like actual, you know, legit. Seems like our power's getting worse. I feel like this engine's shut off for some reason. No, it's running. I don't understand. UP engines are starting to fail me. Deferred maintenance, yeah. I mean, we are getting way slow. Like, what in the world is going on? I got an idea. Actually, we're going to cheat. Hey, this truck right here's got some power behind it, don't it? See if we can chase this guy down. Probably not, though. Oh, we just start raining. Nice. Why are we rolling backwards? Oh, that'd help if I put the reverse arm forward, huh? Rookie. Come on, you can do it. I forgot how you turn the wipers on. One of these buttons. What the world happened? There we go. Sheesh. I forget all the buttons on how to... There's so many buttons to this game, it's nuts. More power. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was going the wrong way. Heading south, you can go to Birmingham, old leg. You got Chattanooga, you got Birmingham, Sheffield, Atlanta. All those are pretty big terminals. Chattanooga is really big. Let's see, what's our stuff here? We got our HPT is 5. That's insane. Oh, we're over on an empty. Only 3,600 tons. Empty train. Well, it says we got 88 loads, but I don't know what they're loaded with. Freaking styrofoam peanuts, whatever they're called. Space peanuts. Almost 9,000 feet. Well, I have to go 30 in a mile. Oh, must be a turn, okay. I could turn this guy on. He might put us in the hole though. It's like a AI generator dispatcher, and he is a butthole. If you're running up to on an approach block, you can tone him up. If like I need a signal, and he'll say, "Nah, you can tone me up, and I'll give you a signal when you get stopped." If you tone him up again, he'll say, "I heard you the first time." Like Katie and them finally headed home. Now, just so you have this thing called mainframe. Well, they give you your call time, and I say your call time's at 1 a.m. That's when you considered clocked in. Most guys come in a little bit early, print out their paperwork, look at their paperwork, look at their slow orders and bulletins, print off the trains coming towards them and coming behind them, talk with the engineer. Most of the time, like me and my engineer would sit down and we would go over our slow orders and stuff together. And then as far as like clocking out or tying, they call it tying up on mainframe. You'll tie up and that's when your time stops. And you'll get in your van, go get something to eat, go to the hotel. Yeah, but no time clock. Yeah, that's right, Kelly. Us too. The NS was real big about being dressed and ready, is what they had posted up everywhere. And thankfully, I didn't live very far from the yard. I lived like, when I was in Sheffield, I lived like 15, 20 minutes away, and in Birmingham, same thing, like 15, 20 minutes away. Is it right? I wonder if I remember this correctly. You're looking at this is your emergency reservoir. This is your brake pipe pressure, right? And then you have your brake cylinder pressure, your main reservoir, and then of course the rear from your EOT is your pressure, and then your flow. Is that right? If I remember correctly, it's been a long time. Man, that's a bad drive. After you've been on a train for 12 hours, you got to drive 45 minutes home. Sucks. Equalizing reservoir. Oh, okay. I used to remember hearing engineers talking about don't use up all your air. Talking about slowing down and going. Oh, look at that! They got oilers, and that's interesting. Or they used to say don't piss all your air away. Is what they used to say. Takes me an hour at 90 miles per hour to get to work. Holy cow, that's nuts. but you probably live somewhere where you actually want to live. So it's kind of worth it, you know. If I could buy a house on the lake, Logan Martin, I would, and I would be an hour away from work, and I would drive every day with no complaints.
DNSS detector. Milepost 597.0. Main 1. Ambient temperature 107 degrees.
Oh, I could only imagine. I've seen pictures, Sean. Until you hit a deer, yeah. Yeah, there's plenty of deer out here, that's for sure. They're all around my house. Sometimes you'll leave our house and walk outside and they'll be in somebody's front yard, eating their winter ryegrass or wherever someone's planted. I live in a subdivision. I'm tempted to put a deer feeder in my backyard. Or a salt lick or something. These box cars are just stack cars. I just don't have the skins for them. Same for these, I believe. Yeah, 2TAX. Yeah, that's true. That's how most engineers run. I don't need to get enough salt streaming on here. Nah, most people don't give me a hard time on stream. There's been a few that get a little crazy. There's this one guy named Eric, man. He commented on my videos for like 2 days straight, and he was asking me. His first comment was, "Why are you making videos about the rail industry when you don't even work here no more?" He said this would be the last thing that I would do if I got out of the industry. And I just said, man, I enjoy the industry. I wanted to somehow keep myself in the industry if I could and help. And then he got on, and he would just blast me like every other day. Every day he'd blast me about something, and most of the time I just let it go, but he just kept on, and I just blocked him from the channel. I told him several times, like, man, I can do you a favor. If you really want me to, I can do you a favor and you'll never see my face again. He was an engineer for NS up north, I believe. I can deal with people roasting me, like that don't bother me, but like when you're doing it every single day, that's a little excessive. You know, at first I thought he was kind of joking, or he was being serious. You know, the first time I thought he was really being serious, and like he was actually really curious as to why I'm making videos, and then it just got worse and worse, and how I was, you know, I was stupid for making videos and all that stuff. Like, yeah, okay, that's enough. Sorry. Yeah, I had an engineer tell me. I had an old head engineer tell me, his name's Mike Kill. I talk about him all the time. He was the first engineer I ever worked with. But he told me, he said, I was working with him on work train one day. And he said, Joey, he said, you know, people have this concept that, you know, you work for the railroad, you're doing a man's job. You know, everyone out here is like a, you know, this manly guy, or you know, it's like a, you know, it's just a hard working job. He said it comes to find out it's just a bunch of grown ass men who don't want to walk. And I was like, man, and the more I worked there, the more of all that started to come true. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Sean, like this whole channel started around preparing the new people to come in. And the reason I did that is because NS's training's so horrible. They don't train you for really anything. And that's nothing against my trainers. They were just doing what they were told because I'm friends with my trainers. But you know, they don't train you for what it's really like. They just teach you the basics, how to throw a switch, how to couple rail cars, how to basic communication on the radio, and good luck. And then it turned into, I got real intrigued with rail news and stuff like that. So then I was like, okay, and then that really took off my channel. When I posted that video about CSX CEO, I was like, people want to hear the rail news. I might as well start keeping up with it. Henry Hegstead. Wow. Yep. Mike Hill was my first one. Steve, I can name a few. They're all retired now. I don't know how they're all doing though. Thank you, Larry. I appreciate that, man. I'll be here. I ain't going nowhere. I may slow down in uploads here and there, just from a break and stuff like that. I do get burned out every now and then. Well, not really burned out. It's either I've got something I need to do, or I don't know what to upload about. But that's, I've had so many people ask me questions that that's pretty much endless now. I have plenty of ideas. Yeah, I was thankful. I had a lot of pre-85 conductors train me. There's another guy named Mike Myhan. He worked for 42 years. He hired in at 18 as an engineer. I miss it. I enjoy talking about the old stories I had, but yeah, it was fun. What'd you say about wearing panties? I didn't even see that. Really? Yeah, I did 3 weeks in Atlanta, and then got thrown out to the wolves. And they said, "Oh, you're gonna train for what'd they tell me? 12 to 16 weeks." I trained for 8. Thankfully, I had previous experience that kind of helped me out. But yeah, Kelly, I've done collabs with John from Rails, Tales, and Trails before. I've jumped on his live streams a few times. Oh, we finally done raining now. I guess I can cut the sand off, huh? Whoops. Appreciate it, Jeff. Hey, I'm just glad that there's a spot where these new guys can ask questions, and there's so many people that actually answer them, besides me, because I don't know the answers to most of the questions. If it's around NS, I don't know, but thankfully I know people I can ask. I'll turn these wipers off. There we go. Yep, 5.7 thousand. That's nuts to think that just, man, I don't know. Let me go back and look at look at my Instagram maybe. I wonder, where the heck's my phone go? It just stopped raining. Are we in Alabama? Pretty sure. We are. Let's see where I was a year ago. Alright, this was on January the 2nd. I had 1.51 thousand. I hit 1,500 subscribers. So in, what was that, 7 months time, we went from 1.5 thousand to 5.7. And then, oh, there's my 1,000 mark. So I hit 1,000 September 12th of last year. I was averaging, I'll tell you, this is pretty crazy to watch. Who's that? Did I watch Sean's shorts? No, I haven't. Oh yeah, if you're going to drop a disco, yeah, that's right. Your federal suit. Oh, I'm curious now. Yeah, send me a link to that one. Yes, I posted my analytics on September 11th. I was averaging 11,000 views a month, 1,000 hours watched, 300 subscribers. Then the last 28 days this month we've had, let's see, hush, we've had 73,000 views, 5.5 thousand watch hours, and 959 subscribers. That's bananas. Yeah, if you don't like the relief crew, that's right. Just leave it sitting in there underneath the lid. Leave the door cracked.
DNSS detector. Milepost.
See, this is what I was talking about.
3.5. Main 1. Ambient temperature 104 degrees.
This is what I was talking about, how it's not realistic. So, we've got, how many engines we have on the head end? We got 4 engines on the head end. And we're 3,600 tons. And we're having a hard time going uphill right now. I mean, it is a 1.5% grade, but reducing in a boxcar. Hey, you gotta go, you gotta go. Yeah, that's right. Just lean up against the wall, huh? I wish I had some old pictures and videos from when I worked in a coal mine, talking about deucing in a coal car. We used to call them copperheads underground. I would love to be a yard master. Well, let's go a little frosty. I wouldn't mind being in management. just because of, I don't know. Me and the guys at work talk about this all the time, but I don't know. The train masters just, they're so, I mean, they're all puppets, man. They, for the most part, not all of them. Most of them are all puppets, and they're all yes men. And they just do what they're told because the reason is these companies will hire them off the street and they don't have any seniority to fall back on, so they have to do what they're told. I'm just not. Man, the plant manager in Nucor, he asked me a question one day. He said, Joey, how far do you want to go within the company? And I laughed. And I said, me and you both know this right here is as far as I'm going to get. He said, why is that? And I said, because I'm not a yes man. They got yes man at Nucor. Oh, yard masters aren't company? That's nice. Okay, pull it out. I can see myself doing that if they got the drone low enough. Call a lawyer and say they're sexually harassing me with a drone. Oh, man. Alright, that's not bad because that's working 6 months a year then, roughly. Nucor, the mill guys, they work 6 months a year. I used to work 4 on 4 off. That was pretty sweet. Then I wanted weekends off, so now I work Monday through Friday. Why are you flashing at me? Did I chase this guy down? I think I did. Oh, I never... Wait. Oh, the engineer. I forgot, not the engineer, but the dispatcher. I forgot I turned him on. Alright, let's tone this guy up then. See what I'm talking about? Call me at next control point. How long does it take to become a locomotive engineer? It depends. Oh, I didn't realize it was still going to be a big hill. I would say probably the average time is probably, I don't know, maybe kind of a broad spectrum. I would say probably between 8 to 12 years on average, maybe. It just really depends. Like NS is probably 8 years, and Birmingham, Sheffield probably 10. Sure depends on where you're hiring out of. Yep, that's it, Sean. That's the name of the game. Well, fellas, I think I'm about to get off here. It's definitely 1:30 in the morning this Friday. I have a fishing tournament tomorrow. Do what you're not supposed to. I forgot how you shoot the train in emergency. Thing even stops like a stack train, don't it? Sat down pretty good. Alright, fellas, I'm going to bed. Y'all have a good night. I'll probably be on here. I won't be on here tomorrow. I got a tournament tomorrow night from 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. So I might be on Sunday afternoon because I go back on nights Monday afternoon. So appreciate y'all being here. I'll see you guys in a couple of days if y'all stop by. Y'all have a good night. Thank y'all again. Bye-bye.